So Demon Hunter is entering one of the final stages of its lifetime, and by lifetime I mean of this lore. I also don't mind me, being on Spike right now. I kinda am waiting on a trade for, uh, I trade for anything, or BDA role specifically. But Demon Hunter, the stages of Demon Hunter, basically how this goes. Stage 1 is generally like the most popular time in Demon Hunter. It has around 900 of 1.5k players, and everybody's grinding. Everybody's grinding, trying to max out their build, trying to race to pillar and race to moon. That's when the game is probably the most fun with your friends and stuff. However, when we get to stage 2 is when people start to have an issue with the game. Stage 2, generally people are around level 180 to 200. And then they're saying, well, what should I do now that I'm max level? The common answer is always go for the in-game content. Well, what is the in-game content? Well, that's Slayer Mark, See-Through World, Red Nichiren, Final Form, and extra sense of blah 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 blah, and whatever the Sacred Scroll skills are. Charge Strike, Lung Strike, and Rock Swipe. Now, when you look at these, you're like, huh, well, this is pretty good in-game content, something for me to grind to. But it's not actually what in-game content is supposed to be. There's nothing really different about your gameplay if you do these things or get these skills. I mean, you get a stat buff if you get Pillar or Moon, true, and that is fun. Especially for being a Moon, if you actually do become a Moon, that is fun. Because you can go from Lower Moon 6 all the way to Upper Moon 1, where you would think you could, but I'll touch on that in a second. For being a Slayer, becoming Pillar is pretty, like, it is probably like it's difficult because you have to be top 50 in ranked as a regular Kinoe, and then you have to kill a demon as soon as that pillar of your breathing dies. Um, it's it's a tedious thing. It's a tedious thing, I will say. However, it's not as hard as some people would believe, because what most people do they'll wait for PD because obviously you want your pillar to die. Hope that their pillar dies. They'll have a demon ult right in front of them. Boom, kill the demon ult as soon as that pillar dies, and boom, you're the new pillar. Yay! Now for demon, it is practically impossible to become a moon right now, and the reason for that is because every single moon account shares, and account sharing is bannable. It is a bannable offense that is supposed to be super duper punished. Is it punished? No. It's never actually been punished on a single one of the moons, even though practically every single one of them have admitted to doing it. And there's like insanely obvious like traces of account sharing. Like for an example, there was this guy Tree Taro. He was Lower Moon 4, I believe, like 3 weeks ago. Maybe it was like late July. I don't remember. Uh, I looked. I was grinding at the time, but the next time I saw him, which was about I think 10. It was like 10 days, or maybe it was like 2 weeks later. He was Upper Moon 6. To give you some perspective of how like meteoric a rise that is, no moons besides Upper Moon 3 died or slash got banned. None of them. It was all the same moons. So he actually like took another moon's spot 4 times in a row. To give you some perspective of how many trophies that is, because Moon is based on getting trophies, that is around 3 to 5k trophies at the bare minimum case that he got in 2 weeks. I can do the math real quick. I've already done the math, but if his stocks cost, like, let's say he went to he had like 4 minute stocks each time. It's an average of 4 minute stocks. So 4 minutes goes out to about 240 seconds, and then you times that by how many trophies he had. Let's just say 4,000. Divide by 60, 267. That is how many hours that he would have had to put in to make that difference. That is 11 days. He spent 11, quote unquote, spent 11 days in 2 weeks on Demon Hunter. That is physically impossible, but, you know, Demon Hunter devs, they didn't really. Of course, they don't care about it because this is the last stage of Demon Hunter. This is stage 3, what we are currently in. When the game has reached about 300 active players, and it will keep going down as more and more people quit. As you can see, I've been up here this entire time. I've actually been on for a good bit. There has been six, no, not 16, 19. There's 19 demons on. Out of the 300 people playing this game, there are 19 demons. Are we seeing an issue with that? Slayers constantly complain, oh, why am I not getting stocks? Why am I not getting stocks? I personally can't even queue right now because I'm on Spike. That's another issue with the game. Getting a different BDA, because without a good BDA, like a top 5 one at least, you're never going to win a queue. I cannot win a queue with Spike. I will show you why. Look at the skills on Spike. Doesn't even proc here. Whatever. Look at this. Who is that hitting? The range is horrible. The build-up is horrible. The M1s are horrible. You would think, oh man, that last one looks like the stone one. It doesn't stun. It doesn't stun. I think it just does a little bit extra damage. Being on this BDA is horrible. I personally haven't even queued because I know I won't be able to win. And you would say that, hey, they added something to where blah, 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 you can get a different BDA. That's only at level 100 and 150. I am level 200. I rolled off my BDA because Biwa was nerfed. They nerfed the BDA because, yes, it was broken. It was very much so broken. But it's currently unplayable because every Slayer can auto parry out of it. But stage 3, typically where the Demon Hunter devs, they've stopped updating. They promised a free event me code 2 weeks ago, still not dropped. And it probably never will drop because they don't care. But, stage 3 won't last for long. They're probably going to do another update probably around October, late October, or November, maybe even December. It's going to be somewhere where there's a break during school because they are smart. I'll give them that. They're smart. But yeah, that's the stages of Demon Hunter, the life cycle that keeps happening over and over. And if you enjoyed the video, hopefully, depending on how this does, I can do a second one talking about just as bad an issue, the spec users. But I'm just a content creator, so they won't listen to me. See you next time.